Hey, shalom, shalom, all praises, honor, glory goes to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Quadash. Double honor to the apostles, Elder Bishop, the Great Millstone, rule well. Peace and blessings to you, fellow brothers, pushing out this word in truth and sincerity, Bechanak. Coming back with another lesson through the spirit and power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Quadash. Shalom, shalom to all the believers out there fighting for their faith. It's about Chanak again, coming with a lesson. This is going to be a relatively short lesson. You know, not too much to say. I want to just bring out a couple of scriptures. This is on the recent thing with the so-called GRLA Hebrew, Al-Azhar, on No Jumper. Okay, he went on a podcast with No Jumper. This is after the whole allegations, the revealing of the whole rumor behind him getting pegged and, you know, leaving the Sakari, you know, going, you know, back and forth, trying to explain himself, then basically saying that he's no longer with the Hebrew Israelite community. And now he's back on this platform with almost, it's 868,000 subscribers. So it gets a lot of, you know, it gets a lot of traffic, and he's back on the jumper. They got him in the back. You know, he's not even on the couch in the front with a bunch of niggas all around him. A bunch of niggas on some gang culture type shit, you know, black shit. Okay. Trying to basically, he's addressing the rumors. The video is GRLA Hebrew addresses rumors of getting pegged by his ex-wife. Okay. I mean, it's total madness. He should have just left it alone. But of course, he wants to be part of the community, you know, being known, you know, being a social media influencer, you know, and all these things have backfired. Who knows? It could have been a humiliation ritual. But he left the Hebrew Israelite community, and now he's trying to get back into so-called black / gang / podcast nigga community. Now I got two titles for you. It can go either way. They're both from scriptures. Have no appearance of evil. That's from a scripture. And be not unequally yoked with unbelievers. Okay, be not unequally yoked with unbelievers. What we're going to do is just kind of play a little bit of the video. I'm pretty sure that you probably already heard it. If not, that's okay. I'm not going to play nowhere near, just a little bit. Because it's this madness, you know. And then this Whack 100, this nigga dressing all black. He gets Captain Tazariak on the phone. He calls Captain Tazariak. It's all set up. He gets Captain Tazariak. And they love drama. The more drama, the more views, the more money. That's what it comes back to. Is the shock value, the shock and awe value. Okay, if there's more drama, if there's more beef, if there's more controversy, there's more clicks, there's more views, there's more advertising revenue, there's more money. This is why there's always some type of outrageous title like this title, or a thumbnail, you know, clickbait to get you. And that's why niggas is always arguing, you know. This is just a bad look. We might go into a couple of comments because this dude's looking really bad. But this is what happens when you surround yourself with unbelievers. Let me actually get that scripture first. 2 Corinthians 6. Okay, 2 Corinthians 6 and 14. We'll read that. 14 and 15. You can even go down to 16. All right, and this is giving a warning to the church of Corinth. But these epistles are for us now. Okay, for us to understand and to apply wisdom in these last days. Yahweh Shai told us to walk. He sent us forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be wise as serpents and harmless as doves. Okay, you're never going to see a great millstone get on a podcast you know, and it's madness. It's entertainment. 2 Corinthians 6:14. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. And you know, I'll probably get a let's see, can I do it here? Get another translation too. Be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. Meaning you're not supposed to be you know, rubbing shoulders with those that are unbelieving. You know, like for example, this whole pot, you know, you're in the circle of niggas, but you're a Hebrew Israelite too. But you can vibe out with street gang culture as well. You can vibe out with look these are your typical niggas. You know, your typical blacks that represent the large majority, the demographic of young niggas, old niggas. Okay? That never really grew up. That's all about controversy and bullshit. That don't really speak to anything positive or promote anything positive. It's all, number one, the dude, the no jumper is what's the guy's name? Adam. What's the dude's name? Well, he basically let his woman get popped by different men. He's a porn star. He's literally a plant. He's a porn star, a Edomite that surrounds himself with J culture and capitalizes off of that and pollute you to push a negative, you know, way of life on you, Jakes. Okay, they're all adding to the problem, and Jake, they Esau owns everything, so Jake just want to fit in where they get in. Be not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness? And the GRLA Hebrew, he's known as the GRLA Hebrew. Okay, Alazar. Right? It says, for what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness? He claimed he was the chief high priest of all Israel. He told the Apostle Tahar, the elder Apostle Tahar, that he should retire. He called the Apostle Ranlab all types of N-words. He basically cursed out the leadership of Great Millstone. Okay? Saying all type of way out crazy shit. And he's never sinned before. Okay? He's a great debater. Nobody wants it with him. Right? But you're supposed to be, if you're the chief high priest, you're in that type of position, you are supposed to be the epitome of righteousness. Why are you surrounding yourself with unbelievers? And there's something within this podcast that Wax said. He said, that's why I don't fuck with religion. You rubbing shoulders with this dude. This dude's a complete sellout. This dude's he dressed in all black. He's a goddamn demon. But you're surrounding yourself with individuals like that. He has your number. You guys talk, whatever it may be. I think there could have been a falling out. You curse each other out. It's just weird. But this is what happens when you surround yourself with bullshit, man. Right? So you're surrounding yourself with unrighteousness. And what communion? Look at the word communion. I'm just gonna look it up. Just clicking on it. The sharing or exchanging of intimate thoughts and feelings, especially when exchange is on a mental or spiritual level. Yeah, you're supposed to be building, right, and bringing more light, so to speak, to the Hebrew Israelites, right? Which that's not, the Lord didn't tell you to do that. This is how we know that this dude, he's not of the Lord. Well, he tapped out. He said he's no longer a part of the Hebrew Israelite community. He said that Hebrew Israelites are cosplaying, which is basically when we put on the garments, we are pretending we're dressing up like Hebrew Israelites. Okay? It says, and what communion has light with darkness? And what concord has Hamashiach or Yahushua with Belial, a demon, Satan basically? Or what part has he that believeth with the infidel, somebody that's a non-believer? Here it is. You are on The no. Let's type this in just real quick. No Jumper podcast. Yeah, Adam 22. That's the dude. This is the and you guys all know. This is the dude, Adam 22. He is the owner of No Jumper. Right? No Jumper is a popular podcast and YouTube channel created by Adam 22, focusing on hip hop culture and featuring interviews with both emerging and establishing artists. Edomite. So he brings in individuals in the hip hop community, and what demographic watches that? That's Jake. And what did they have on there? Degeneracy. Okay, and this dude, he's a prawn star. He does adult movies. Okay, and he does a madness. I don't even want to talk about it. You know, I ain't gotta tell you. But this is the podcast. This is the platform that you are supposed to be the chief high priest. Well, now he's not part of the community now. But he was on this podcast. He was rubbing shoulders with these guys. And look what happens when you rub shoulders with these guys. You get caught up in scandals. Let's play a little bit of this bullshit.
He been copying my moves for years, right? Mm-hmm. That's just real. That's objective. I know that's your boy, but I always been. But that's the reality of the situation. So we'll get into.
And then they got the nigga all the way in the back. He can't even sit on the couch. He in the back.
And it will be back cool.
He keeps saying something about a broad.
I got you. What is he talking about? So what happened is, I end up putting my broad out, right? Cutting her off financially, right? Years of issue. One of my wives, right? Boom, put her out, whatever. She get with jealous that was around me, hatch an entire plot, come out, try to expose all kind of bedroom business, etc.
Verbally or visually?
Text messages and verbally.
Okay,
right?
So she had audio.
She had no audio. She had no audio of me.
She just her talking.
And
right? Texas from
and now, mind you, she let spin narratives on Texas. She never gave context. She never did.
What in the hell are you breaking it down to these niggas for, man? This doesn't make any sense. Again, be not unequally yoked with unbelievers. Let's go back. Right? It says, be not unequally yoked with together with unbelievers. Okay? So it says, be ye not unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship has righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion has light with darkness? Another precept come to mind. Is that to walk together? Okay. Amos 3:3. Can two walk together except they be agreed? Right. You cannot be in, and this is why they always turn on each other. You know, there'll be boys and then they'll curse each other out over the internet. This is nigga culture. We're just gonna bring it to you straight, unfiltered, undiluted, unadulterated. This is just nigga culture. And what does a Hebrew Israelite? Again, now he's not a Hebrew Israelite, but why is he getting on trying to address all these rumors? Because within all the individuals that followed him as a like street niggas. You know, he also had like the street nigga. He also had the street nigga demographic too. You know, he's a Crip, rolling 30, something like that. I don't really know all that. He was a Crip, Hoover Crip. So he, can rub shoulders with niggas that's in that Crip blood gang shit. Right? But then the rumors came out that he was getting popped by his woman, or there's allegations of him getting popped, or he bought a pegging kit. It was some crazy shit. It's just weird. Okay? It's just weird. All right? So now he's on a podcast trying to explain it. And it's a bad look.
Right. But what did the text say to make
imagine you and your girl talking about all manner of freaky, right? Fantasy life, right? So when I mean my fantasy, we talking about freak off type, right? Now,
freak off. He's talking with his woman about freak off type shit. Let me just type this in. Let me just be very careful because I don't want my, what this is madness is a freak off. He's talking about freak off shit. I want to. We already know. Let me. You know what? I'm gonna ask the chat. Let me see. I'm gonna ask chat. What is a freak off? What are the freak offs? New York Times. It won't let me. Cassandra Ventura, the mogul former's girlfriend, has described them as marathon. Okay, right here, just real quick. Has described them as marathon sexual encounters that he directed involving drugs and hired male prostitutions. Right, and then there's allegations also of him wanting a white man to pop his woman while he watched. Weird. That's some freak. He said freak off type shit. Freak off. We're not gonna even go deep into what a freak off is. I don't even want none of that shit popping up on my computer like that. Okay, but let's play it back. He talking about freak offs. You know, you with your woman, you talk about freaky. All right, that leave that shit up. Leave that with your woman. No, that doesn't even have to be explained. But see, when you're a wicked, you have to double down and try to explain yourself because you want to be you're justified by the people around you that cater to you and that big you up. But now there's a different light on you now.
No audio. She had no audio of me.
Just her talking.
Her talking, right?
Texas.
And now, mind you, she let spin narratives on Texas. She never gave context. She never did none of that, right?
But what did the text say to make
imagine you and your girl talking about all manner of freaky, right? Fantasy life, right? So when I make my fantasy, we talking about freak off type.
And he a fast talking nigga, but Whack, this nigga. All right, this nigga, he pressing him.
Now, Captain Zariak has now turned this into I'm a homosexual. There's no homosexual talk. There's no talk of me with a man, a child, anything like that. It's all about me and right, whatever. So these have now turned this into something.
So look what this nigga Whack he's doing. He's calling to Zariak. So this was already set up.
This is what happens when you praying on somebody downfall and you looking to take somebody's position. My whole position was whatever time I had. Of course, and I responded to him publicly. He tried to come at me like him and his organization was gonna offer me some type of what you call it.
Cat. I'm up here with GRLA Hebrew. I can't really
see. This is they want controversy. Look at the comments. I need to unsubscribe from this damn channel. Yeah, because it's bullshit. Ain't no way a woman gonna think she can ask a straight man, can he peg him, and he gonna let on her. Let me put this battery in there. This charger. Yeah, the woman basically say some shit like that, man. You know, you're not gonna play into it. But he's into some freak off type shit. But look at the platform that he's into. Whack, he into that shit too. Because once you get up in those, start rubbing shoulders with these weird ass Edomites, and these weird ass Jakes that's gatekeepers, you gotta get in there. There has to be some type of dirt on you. So I don't know. There could have been a humiliation ritual. Who knows? Who cares? How is it just fantasy if you order a pegging kit, fam? Discerning that GRLA was over talking everyone while pretending to be the one getting over talked, he made sure that the right questions were not asked or answered. Yeah, because plausible deniability. What's amazing about GRLA is he's lying to save himself and his reputation. Yeah, because when you build your reputation off the streets and reputation amongst niggas, this is what happens. They could easily love you, and then they could easily and then they easily hate you. With lies and desperation acts of lies. He's making a damn fool of himself. That's ignorance at his he's crashing out live. When you upload your whole life, because we upload videos and our faces on cameras and we say certain, but we do videos in the spirit of Yahushai. We do videos to edify. We don't We don't do videos to big ourselves up. You know, in our where there's a picture of you know, I put a picture of myself in every thumbnail, and it's all about me, and this is me going to this restaurant, and we gonna film it. This is me walking down the street and asking people questions about. No, it's not about that. We are here to edify. We're here to preach the word. The scriptures say that. Let's get that. The first, 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy 4:2. Preach the word. Be instant in season, out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. Okay, our main focus is the doctrine, not being a Hebrew Israelite celebrity. And Captain Tazariak, he's straddling the line as well. He's tapped in with them as well. He came on No Jumper. Okay, these guys are all going to be exposed.
Because I remember y'all was cool, and then you been on him, and I said I can't remember, and I asked him what was the issue. He said you putting homosexual allegations on him, bro. Like, why would you? Where that coming from?
No sexual allegation. Sexual allegation.
Oh, no. What did she show for make you believe that?
And look, this nigga, he gotta just sit there and just take it.
You showed the text message exchanges between them. He had her.
Look, everybody got this just smile on their face. This is just nigga entertainment. This is nigga entertainment. Let me just keep it 100%. Let me kick it a buck with you. It's just nigga entertainment.
You online papers.
That I in the text.
That's the one who asked me about the pegging device. That was from her. That's not from me. I never been pegged in my entire life. We just was having sexual conversation on my page. That's it.
You was being open.
That's it.
Wait, no,
See, look, he's
So now hold on now, because this go back to y'all. Y'all both
Of course.
Israelites, right?
Yes, sir.
Are you supposed to be fraternizing or even anything like that about a white man?
No, first off.
see, man, there's another. Let me bring out this other scripture. There's another scripture. It's kind of escaping me. Let me see something. Okay, yeah, that's. Give me a second. Bear with me. I mean, it's a couple of when it goes into good works. Let me bring this one. 1 Peter 2:12. Having your conversation honest among the Gentiles. Like, these will be considered Gentile. Even there, Jake, I don't know about him. He look like he maybe Latin tribe or mixed or Esau. I don't know. But these are all Jake. These will be considered Gentiles. They don't consider themselves Israelites, right? So it's saying having your conversation honest among the Gentiles, that whereas they speak against you as evildoers, because they speak out against us because of the words that we speak, the doctrine that we speak. Okay, they may by your good work. See, so he's not an example of good works. Now they're going to speak against us, our Hebrew Israelite doctrine, the doctrine of Yahushua, because Yahushua has no place in them. They're offended of the word. But see, this what makes the community, people talk down about the community and so-called be justified, because he's displaying evil works. Okay? That may by your good works, which they shall behold. He's not behold. You don't see good works amongst him. Glorify the Most High in the day of visitation. You're gonna have certain individuals. Well, the scripture said to convince the gainsayer. Okay. But let me read Matthew 5:16. It says, "Let your light so shine before men. Yeah, a righteous light, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. What is under scrutiny? He can never be the same. Because this conversation is always going to come up, and he's always going to have to explain himself. What's up with that pegging kit?
No, you're not supposed to do it. But here's the issue, though. The issue is this whole thing happened. I, on my own record, said, you know what? This ain't right. I went to therapy in regards to this. This woman got mad after I cut her off financially, and a couple months later tried to come and weaponize it against. Now, mind you, now we're supposed to follow the Bible. The Bible say the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses shall a matter be established. They don't have 2 or 3 witnesses that I've actively participated in any of those things. Hold on, no, don't cut me off. Let me. Hold on, no, listen. But 2 or 3 witnesses again. Now, if I say this is just a text message and say, hold on, Tazariak, I'm making a point. Thank you. 2 or 3 witnesses, right? So you cannot convict me of any sin unless you have at least 2 witnesses to substantiate it.
This why religion.
Now listen.
See that? Look, see, this is why I don't F with religion.
Finish my point. No, let me hold on. Let me finish my point though. Let me finish my point though.
What you got to say about 2 or 3 witnesses?
Listen.
You see how they scoffing? Well, let me bring out a scripture. See, he's breaking it down, which he's trying to go back to the law. He breaking it down. Okay, but whack, he over there, he's scoffing. Matthew 7. This is why you don't get on platforms like this and do this shit. But unruly children will do unruly things because they have no guidance, and they do have guidance, but they reject guidance. So this is what happens. You fall hard. As big as you came on the scene and made your name amongst individuals, you're falling even harder and faster than when you came on the scene. You're back when Sarnetta is the one who gave you the GRLA Hebrew. I remember that. Matthew 7:6. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs. You're trying to justify yourself through the scriptures with people that don't believe in the scriptures. So really any explanation amongst Jake's mind is disregarded because, again, I read, can two walk together, at least they be agreed? How can you come to an understanding and break something down and explain it when the basis of your explanation goes back to the scriptures, which you don't follow, and the people that you're explaining it to, they don't believe in the scriptures? You can't fast talk your way out of this, bro. You looking bad. You should just give it up. You should. You know what you should be. You know what you should do, bro. You should just do it. Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast ye your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet and turn again and rend it. He basically cursing out your religion right in front of you. See? Like, he disregarded everything that you said.
See, this the problem. I gotta finish my point though. No, so very simple. Hold on. So this man's going around saying I'm a homosexual when there's no allegation of me having any type of sexual encounter or any desire to have any sexual encounter with a man. There's not in no text, not nowhere in life.
The pegging part.
No, exactly. Now again, I've never been pegged in my whole life. That's never happened. Hold on. He's talking in the mic. I'm trying to talk.
Come on, bro. What kind of conversation is this? Like, you're supposed to be a super high level teacher, right? You're supposed to be the highest level teacher, Israelite, and you have to explain to your audience that you did not get pegged. That's crazy, bro.
Oh, I don't even get to finish my point because he's busy trying to push narrative.
What'd you say?
In the text message, he said, how you going to hit me with something bigger than what I hit you with?
Did the word
again, no, listen, I'm not saying it again. So what part of fantasy... hold on.
I fuck with
no, listen, I'm not saying you
and
don't.
I'm going to be real for the record, and I'm not saying you are, but you ain't.
Of course.
But I will tell you this. If you switch roles, if a got a text message coming from a man to a woman and says...
Wag like, look, bro, if you do that, that's cool with me. I ain't tripping.
How you going to hit me with something that's bigger than what I hit you with?
Okay.
That is insinuating penetration.
Now, Wack. Now, hold on. Now, listen. Now, Wack. Listen. Yes. I'm with you. Now we're opening up a large rabbit hole. So here's what we have to understand. There's no context being given to anything, right?
This is bullshit. Let me just read you. I think I got one more. Yeah. One more scripture, bro. This is madness. Okay. Madness. But, right? But this is entertainment. We're going to just close it here. 1 Thessalonians 5:22. Abstain. Let's look at the word abstain.
Strong's G 567. Apechamai. Apechamai. Thayer's
Epechomai.
lexicon. Apecho. Apecho.
To hold oneself off. Like it's self-discipline. Discipline, basically. Constraint. Refrain. Abstain. Okay? So it says abstain, constrain, hold oneself from, right? Meaning to don't go over there. Don't be in the midst of those individuals. Abstain from all appearance of evil. Okay, this whole podcast is nothing but evil. The people that you're around are evil. They're unbelieving. The owner of the podcast is an Edomite demon. He's a demon. They're all demons. You talking about pagan, and you supposed to be a chief high priest. Now you're not a. I don't even know if he considered himself an Israelite anymore, because he couldn't take that. He couldn't take that pressure. Okay. This is what happens when you are amongst the congregation of the wicked. Okay, you get caught up in those, in those circles, rubbing those shoulders, and you get caught up doing things that you shouldn't be doing because you didn't come into the truth in sincerity. You came into the truth and you seen that you can make money. Who knows? Somebody could have, came up to him, and built him up. Who knows? But regardless, we're seeing him fall hard. And this is what they do. They'll build you up, and then really the Lord did it. Because the Lord is taking down all you individuals that love the GRLA Hebrew, because you didn't love him because of the word. You loved him because of his personality and his character. Okay? That's why you listen to him. And you followed him because it was entertaining. You didn't follow him because of the word. Now he's being casted down from heaven. Now he's being, no matter what, he's associated with being popped by his woman. By him wanting to pop his woman, and him wanting his woman to get popped by Edomite in front of him. It's weird. So I'm going to close it there until next time. Shalom to the elect.